man.
All right, we got him.
We like to apologize.
For what? To absolutely no one. The two-time champ does absolutely fucking nothing.
Okay, Made In Chafford podcast episode 238. You already know. If you don't know, do your Googles. I have to tell you guys every week, but you should know at this point. I am him, Himothy.
He's him.
Two Dems, the real is back. The real is back.
Come on.
The best member of the DSS, Dancing DK. Watch your back. I'm gonna pass it to my partner.
Cole Sanusi, Don Collier in the building, the one and only, aka L.O. Coolins, aka C Note, aka Hollywood Cole, aka Dog Dad.
Dog Dad is crazy.
Look, he's up again.
Yeah, he's been causing
You need to go and
absolute
sit
havoc.
down.
Anarchy, dog.
Can't even hear me.
Can't even hear me. It's
Exactly.
crazy.
You're right. It's surround sound, smart speakers, portable speakers, you name it, we dare. Episode 238. Let's get it.
It's Eman G45, the G solid in my name, the 45 silence,
Yes,
gang
sir.
Broadway
Come
black.
on.
Prince of the East, Tinfoil Hat Eames. God sent.
Let me just see what this guy's doing first. Keep going, guys.
Black Mamba Dove. Chia Yam.
Yeah.
Here we are.
Here we are. Episode 238. Where do you want to begin?
Let's just get straight into
Let's
it.
just get straight into it. There's no point. We had briefly discussed like that on the previous episode.
I'm just saying. The conversation on 236 started with who do you think has got it? Drake or Kendrick? And you said my money's on Cole.
My money would still have been on Cole. My money still is on Cole. If he wasn't, honestly, this is the most embarrassing thing I think any human has done.
Before we get into it, you're still putting your money on Cole.
I still think Cole is in it. I still, if Cole really wanted to enter into that arena and battle with them, I think Cole is nice enough to do it. I think he could get the job done. I do believe 7 Minute Drill was him saying, yo, quit playing with my name. Like, I'm not really, you don't want to go there with me. We're really boys. It'd be like if you diss me and I put outside and I said, listen, we're family. I'm not going in that direction. You diss me again, I'm gonna come back twice as.
You could have wrote that in a tweet rather than display for the people.
I thought the song was fine.
For the people who are listening and watching on YouTube right now, J. Cole put out a project called Might Delete Later. He's been working on this project for quite some time, and he decided to put on his last track 7 Minute Drill. 7 Minute Drill is something that is more known for the army, what you can do in 7 minutes with whatever rifle, gun, whatever you could do within 7 minutes, and it's a drill. So it wasn't his best work.
Agreed. But you were saying hot ass. I don't think it was hot ass. I don't think it was
hot ass.
I don't think it was.
Nah, it's the type, you know, when you go gym and you use the bathroom, the person who used it before, you just know he didn't shower. Got the job done, but you just know he didn't shower and you just smell it. You're like, right,
That's
pause.
crazy.
I was like, you don't want to go smell it, but you just smell it.
Yeah, it's just in the ethos.
That body odor is just like, That's the type of, because you expect it. Well, you don't go to the bathroom and expect flowers, but I was expecting like something beyond.
Really?
Yes.
I see. My expectations were tempered. I got exactly what I thought I was gonna get. I thought it was a cool song with a cool bounce, and he got straight to the point. Like, yo, yeah. I think it was serviceable. I think it was fine. But I can see why you feel the way you do. I'm not disagreeing with you on this. I'm just saying I thought it was serviceable, it was fine.
Shouts to Deej.
What did he say? He hates him anyway, innit?
No,
he never stood a chance.
Deej specifically said, just right now, he said, don't chat for me. So I'm like, okay, cool. So I can't chat for him.
Doesn't he like J. Cole?
He hates him.
Does he?
I'm sure that's the discourse.
I can't speak for him.
I thought he liked J. Cole.
Nah, I thought he thought it was boring.
I can't speak for him.
Nah, in fact, we'll get him on the show. Like, it's his family, so it's not him.
I remember liking Forest Hills Drive, but anyway, say lovey. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like you about it. I thought it was cool. I just felt like it was charged up to as opposed to it being like a back to back.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
I didn't really care, and I feel like it was overshadowing, unfortunately, the project, because I actually thought the project was pretty good.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah.
However, with the events that have transpired, and him going on stage and apologizing to Kendrick
It's
Lamar in
embarrassing,
public,
man.
for me, I want to just like start by saying I had a feeling this was going to happen, because in the last episode when we spoke about it, I said that because I've been a massive fan of his, so I've kind of been through or seen everything he's like gone through as far as his adversary in the industry, the ups and downs of putting out music, him having like internal battles with himself and the label and whatever it may be, and I'm kind of becoming more who he wants to be in the music scene. I think it's got to that point now, which is good. But I've always felt like with him, he lacks the necessary like fuckery element, the like
He's
the
not
badness
killer.
within him to kind of go at people. Hence why he's never had. Oh, my drain's fucking up. It's gonna fuck up the audio anyway. Hence why I had a feeling that he was never really gonna go there with this, because he had a situation with Diggy Simmons that was some bullshit.
Yeah.
He had the situation with Kanye and Wale, and obviously we went back and forth whether it was a diss or a reading.
Yeah.
I didn't really feel like it was a diss per se, but it is what it is. That's more semantics. Beside those two situations, maybe it was one other one that I can't think of off the top of my head. He's never really had to go at somebody, let alone it be someone who is his brethren. Like Dreamville and TD have too many cross paths. Like it's very much there's a lot going on there if there was to be
Yeah.
an actual beef.
I feel you.
So I'm not surprised they were on the phone to each other. I'm not surprised that this actually happened where he's redacted it. My biggest issue with it is you have been on this path of you've been on a warpath for the past 4 or 5 years, telling everybody you're the best.
Since
You've-
Pipe Down.
and he's been and he's been
Pause, yeah.
and he's actually been back in his chat. Like he's been rapping like he's the best rapper in the world. So I've been so gassed for him to finally get to this point in his career, because I've always felt like he had it in him. So for now, the first bit of adversary that you get, okay, it's your brethren, but no one really expects it to go there. Show out, do what you gotta do. No one's gonna hold it to you if you don't actually,
Be real.
play your best hand.
Let's put us in this position. If I went on stage and apologized for a diss track that I made, and we're brethren, you'd vomit, you'd feel sick, you'd be like, what is he doing on stage doing that? It's fucking embarrassing,
But
honestly.
it fits his. It
Nah.
fits him. Do you know why I think it fits? Do you know why I say it fits him as a person? Because J. Cole's brand and J. Cole's identity has always been based and built around being real. Truthfully, like if you go back to like no, I'm serious. Like if you go back to he'll give me a disgusting look, but I listen to everything. If you go back to like the warm up, you go back to the come up, you go back to Friday Night Lights. The man's career and everything he's kind of built his stature on, and the reason why people respect him the way they do is because they believe him. People don't really believe Drake, but Drake makes great music, so no one cares enough. People believe Kendrick, so Kendrick and Cole are in the same vein. If Kendrick says something, you're gonna believe it because his brand is being based on him being real. Mr. Around a Big Step was basically him tearing down his own character.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is that with Cole, I'm not surprised he's done this, because he's always tried to be vulnerable, tried to kind of give him his most pure self to the people who followed him, whether hip hop likes it or not. My issue with that though is that like this is the essence of being an MC though.
This is I grew up on. This is man.
This is the essence of being an MC.
I can't
So
tell
you
you
basically contradicted yourself.
sick to myself. He might as well not release that album. Like it's really tainted my image. Because he worked so hard. The journey I've been on with him.
Said he should have just kept that shit to himself. That 7-minute draw, he should have just kept that shit to himself.
I think he had every right to release it. I don't think it's a case of he should have kept it to himself.
bro.
But he could have just gone on like this was normal. Like I don't know why he went on stage to
quite literally,
apologize.
he could have. No, I think firstly, I just want to say like, I think these three individuals have really kept, in terms of a generation, in terms of music and like what we listen to, and even how hip hop today, I would say as a collective, not just a specific niche, but as a collective, how people conduct themselves, quite literally. And these guys, they've showcased, like in terms of music, the artistry very much, and conveyed what the generation is, basically what we listen to and how we also approach things in every way. Now, I definitely commend J. Cole for doing that, like for apologizing, because yes, if you want to say it's rap beef, then yeah, it can go left. Now, he even said in his song, like, get the blickies and the stickies, and then just let it rain, technically speaking. But didn't really say that word for word, but you definitely understand what I mean. But ultimately, you should just keep that to yourself, man.
I think I have no issue with him releasing it.
Don't respond. Just keep that to yourself.
Yeah, I think it's embarrassing. There's no two ways about it. To get on
the
stage
response,
and do that.
as I said, mid.
I think, look, this is what you want. You want people to respond. Whether they do a good enough job or not, that's up for debate. Fair enough.
And another point as well, you liken it to Charged Up. The thing about Charged Up is that people didn't think that Drake would respond. That was the surprise element. And more so, Charged Up was a perfect response to Meek Mill in the way people perceived Drake. And the fact that he came back, it was like, oh, this is hip hop. But J. Cole, I don't know, B.
He just shouldn't have put out the track.
Got shave dreads, man.
If he got to that point, he should have just not put the track out. Because
like,
gotta get veneers.
You defeated the purpose of this whole run you've been on. And now listening back to Might Delete Later, retrospectively, it just doesn't hold the same weight because I don't believe what you're saying anymore.
And
like I do with some albums, I'll just take off a track I don't like. 7-minute drill, you take off that track. This is a phenomenal EP. Phenomenal EP.
And take off Fever as well. That song sucks.
Yeah, what was he on with that?
I don't know. That song sucks, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, yes, it's a shame. But I think if we are gonna be completely like real about this, like end of the day, Kendrick shot with the shotgun. Drake was stood in front of the shotgun, but J. Cole took the shrapnel. You know how the shotguns have the mad like spray radius pause. Like J. Cole got like graze on the arm, like
Yeah.
Whereas most of that is for Drake. So, and to be fair, if J. Cole's bowing out, like,
And he came back with a 137 Super Soaker.
bruh,
Stop it.
I think, yeah, and the rumors are like, you know, Drake and Kendrick are gonna go there. So it might the personal side of the thing can like cloud where J. Cole stands, because clearly he's probably the only one that has any kind of like relationship with either party.
But this is
So now them man can get busy without it becoming, you know.
But this is my issue, yeah.
It's just a shame because J. Cole could easily be the best.
That's what I was saying. That's why I'm disappointed because he easily could. I still
not
think
easily, but he has enough of a claim to that.
If he wanted to, he could easily have won this. It was there for the taking. I think he's in a place right now where he's rapping to such a high level that he could have gone there. That's why, to me, this is so disappointing that he opted to go on that stage and say what he said. Regardless of this is the hip hop. It's one of the pillars that if you're gonna go there, you go there. This is a real stain on his career. I don't think he realizes. Maybe more to people like ourselves, the general public, they might not give a fuck, but in my eyes, he has done immense damage. I'm even to the point where like you can keep that album. Like it's gonna feel like the way I look at this album coming up now is like a friendly match. Like it don't matter. The importance of it, you've tarnished it by going up on that stage. Kendrick said April 7th. I better hear an apology, and you apologize on April 7th. My man's on stage saying, I take it on the chin, you can give me the best shot. What are you talking about? What are you actually, like, what are you saying?
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
Like, what? I grew up on Lord of the Mics. This is, when you step into that arena, you're ready to go. There's no dipping in and out. You can't apologize. I hope Kendrick crashes it on his head top as an important lesson. I came up when we was growing up and you're listening to Jadakiss and 50 and what the whole of New York is going at it, you live for this shit. This is what makes the genre so exciting because you can't really do this in other genres.
Even
it's
what 50 Cent
competitive.
did, 50 Cent, because when he heard that diss track from Jadakiss, he went straight to Jadakiss and said, nah, let's leave it. But that in itself was just left. That was a story to tell years and years later. But that was a case where it was just like,
You leave it at that. You don't.
We're gonna leave it
either
at that.
You get in the stew or you don't.
They both know that they can go to war. They can really go to war, but more so it's a case of like, okay, cool, lyrically you're good, but let me just leave it here.
Yeah.
But the thing is, it wasn't a global. Yo, mom, apologize. That's my bro. Like, nah.
That's insane. That's a nasty. If I'm Kendrick, I would even I'll call you up and I'll say, bro, what you doing?
You can't come back and then say on the track,
Exactly.
signed, the greatest yet, and then apologize.
And this wasn't even that bad.
if
It wasn't like he put out horrible energy. It wasn't like a take an ether where you're just crushing it on man's head top and demoralizing him as a man. This was just, yo, I don't think your discography is as great as they gas it to be. And I agree. So I was with him. I'm rocking with that. I'm too happy in life to fuck with To Pimp a Butterfly. I think his only good album, his only good album, because Good Kid is also good. You've got two good ones and they gas the other two. So I hear what you're saying. Your argument wasn't anything, like you weren't shitting on my man.
No, but the thing is, once you've said it, you've said it. And
It
cool,
created
you can
interest,
apologize. You can apologize, but once you've said it, you've said it.
But it weren't anything that bad.
Fair enough. You've said it. If you want to apologize in secret or whatever the case, or more so, just firm it because you know that this is a competition, this is rap.
Exactly.
And just turn around and say, you know what, he did his thing, and I'm just gonna have to take it. If he responded, fair enough, that's cool. Don't go and apologize. It's too late.
If he never wanted to say
you
anything
said we're gonna
after
pull
that,
the blickies and flickies. He said that. He said your album, your discography is trash. You do this all for attention, meaning that
And
he's
he
been
was right.
been harboring this. He's been harboring this for time, and he let it out. Pause.
And there's nothing
And he
wrong with
said
that.
it.
There's absolutely nothing
There's
wrong
nothing
with that.
wrong with it, but you said it. Then you apologize.
We're on the same. Well, I agree with you. I think even if he'd never apologized for it and he didn't want to go any further, he didn't do any more disses, that would have been fine. And like you said, I actually think 7 Minute Drill brought up an interesting discourse. Like, I've seen online more people have been more like, hey, I don't fuck with all of his discography like you're supposed to. I feel like for a long time it was bad to say I don't really rock with To Pimp a Butterfly. But that since then, I've seen more people come out with that opinion. He didn't say anything about my man's character to the point that I'd be on the phone and be like, yo, what's this about? Kendrick has called them both out. What did people expect? And then to go up there and apologize, like, I can't understand it.
How many classics does Kendrick Lamar have done?
All of them.
2.
All of them.
You're saying Good Kid and Damn.
And do you know what? Do you know what that apology does? Yeah, that apology is a good thing that he did, but it's not the right thing to do because you've entered an arena to basically say, listen, let's go at it, let's do something.
Yeah, but that's it. That's what I'm saying. We come from Lord of the Mics. If you step into that, if you step into Jammer's jungle or basement, you're in there. That's it. You have to be ready to go.
It's his mum's basement.
Is it?
Yeah.
Even
Do you know how
better.
many?
Even better. Of course, it's his mum's basement.
Yeah.
Yeah,
If
man.
you step into that arena, you have to be ready to go. You can't. I would rather not reply. If I was in his position, I would have been on the phone with you, man, saying, "Do I have the skills to be able to do this? Am I ready to go? Should I do this?" You're talking like you don't have people around you who care about you.
By the way, is that basement registered? Is it registered?
What do you mean?
Registered as like a landmark.
Is Jammer's mum's basement?
I think it is. I'm not lying to you.
I don't know, but it was in. I went to this Grime exhibition and it was there, as in not there, but like they were talking
recreated
about it.
Yeah.
It's kind of like half of the room was like a recreation of it, and then there's like a video showing like a documentary based on it. So it's like a thing, but I don't know if it's like a landmark.
Hey, yo,
Probably not.
if Jammer's mum's basement is now a British landmark, have at it.
Yeah, man, it's a sad day for J. Cole fans like myself. I can't lie.
Yeah, no,
I definitely am. I am very annoyed that he's done this, and I definitely think it is. Do the guys know what Seppuku is? It's when it's a Japanese tradition where the samurais commit suicide.
Oh, they stab themselves. Yeah, okay.
That was Seppuku,
in front of
bro.
the mans.
I just don't understand. And I know his team are pissed. I know Ebe is pissed. I know Ebe is on the side. Like,
JID.
I know Jid is like, why? I'm ready to go. I know all them man are thinking.
All of them are
This would have been fun, man. It would have been good to see. But
it was at that point. At this point, no one said anything detrimental. It's just friendly competition. That's how I see it. You hadn't said anything treacherous to the point that a friendship would end. You didn't give any information. Like Push and Drake can never be friends because you assassinated that man's whole character
and everything that happened behind closed doors that we don't know about.
Exactly. But this, it's friendly. Yeah, I just understand.
But when you say to my man, it feels like talking to you feels like I'll be swatting a fly. Your arms are too short to box.
So the conductor bit of the disc, I actually quite liked it. Like when
I like the whole thing, man. I really
into
did.
that bag. He was talking his shit. I like that, but
yeah.
I don't know. Maybe I'm trying to think outside the box. Maybe, and I know obviously it's friendly. I know obviously there's no animosity, but can you fabricate animosity for somebody if you don't actually have that anger towards someone?
But it was that wasn't the angle he chose to take.
No. I'm just saying in general. Not obviously.
What do you mean?
Like, let's say, like, for all the beefs that have happened, how many of them have been amicable versus the ones where they've actually been underlying tension?
I see.
Like, I'm not saying
I can't think of any where their man were just trying to go.
I'm just curious. Because let's say 50 and Ye, but that wasn't even. Their man just got together one day and said, "Hey, look, your album's dropping, my album's dropping. Let's just act like we don't like each other for some weird reason." And people bought it because Graduation did 1 million and Curtis did 600. So,
which is incredible. When you know what I'm saying? I can't believe those numbers.
So if their man was smart enough, maybe they could have done something like that. But
and they are smart enough. That's the problem.
And even at that time, personally, if you were on the outside looking in, you probably didn't even know the beef existed.
These man's checks,
because it was fabricated, and more so, of course, certain things happen in the background in terms of artists, this and that, etc. But at the end of the day, still, that was fabricated, and it was great. But
I don't know. I can't believe that they can't see that their checks will also start booming because of this. Like, that is a #1 song.
But I do think the Kendrick Drake thing is personal though.
Yeah, that.
So maybe it makes it a bit more political.
It's very, very personal.
Because Drake was supposed to, according to who was his podcast, it might have been Joe's or maybe Rory and Moore's, but Drake was supposed to go to Dreamville Fest.
Oh.
And then something happened, and then didn't end up going in the end.
What do you mean something happened?
They didn't disclose what was said, but I think the idea was that maybe if Drake was gonna go there, the idea is they'd have to perform first person shooter, right? Obviously the situation with Cole and his song being out, Cole must have said something like, "Oh, look, I'm taking the song down. I don't wanna beef anymore." So maybe in Drake's eyes or their eyes, like, it doesn't make sense to now go and perform the song because that's where the whole thing.
But the energy hasn't been lost on that song. They need to realize that is still an incredible song.
It's a good song, but the context behind it is kind of muddy now, right?
But I didn't see it like people were saying. The first shot was on there. I don't feel like it was. Is it with the value of hindsight? People are now saying this.
Well,
I don't think it was a diss.
Do you know what? For me, I don't think it's a diss. But it depends how you look at it, right? Like, okay, now it's a Spider-Man me looking at Drake looking at me. Everybody steppers, but fuck it, whatever. There's enough in there to kind of piece together that there is subliminals on there.
Yeah.
But my whole thing is, if you're gonna subliminally diss somebody, you're also not gonna shout them out on the same track. Yeah. In my opinion, if we're subbing, we're subbing. I'm not gonna praise you on a track then sub you.
Yeah.
And I don't
think that was their thought process. I think, but then again, Joe on the JBP raised a really good point. A lot of disses is for you to know. I don't give a fuck about what the consumer thinks. Like, I'm gonna say something that only you'd be able to pick up on.
Yeah, but Drake does that all the time.
Of course, I know, but like, I'm trying to give in to the idea that there's a possibility that first person shooter has underlying tension to it. It is a diss. When I first heard it, I was like, wow, that's really nice of them to all, at least for Drake to allow space for Cole to big everyone up.
Yeah, because I don't think Drake cares enough about J. Cole and Kendrick's relationship. I just think like I don't think so. I think
They are crashing it on
as far as Kendrick, as far as Kendrick is concerned, Drake has been sub dissing him for time, and he is just waiting, just waiting for something. Well, he has waited long enough now for him to now do what he's done.
What can Drake say? You got touched when you were young. That's all he can say.
What Drake can say
Drake
to
will
Kendrick
not go
Lamar?
down that route.
You will.
Drake can say stuff about Kendrick. I think there's enough. I think there's obviously there's so much you can say.
Yeah,
about
but
Drake.
then that becomes an expose. It's
you
more
could
so
definitely
like-
get onto Kendrick. Kendrick isn't untouchable, man. He's not the fucking boogeyman that everyone makes him out to be. He's probably the one with the least amount of shit you can say, but just because you're that guy doesn't mean you can't get taken down. Like everybody thought, you know what, Drake versus Pusha T. Oh man, come on, man. Like it's Drake though. Drake bodied Meek. What can Pusha T possibly say about Drake? You are hiding a child.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying Drake's gonna say that about Kendrick, but I don't think Kendrick is as Teflon as people will make him out to be. So hey, we'll see what happens.
Show me
man.
you real. Show me that you bleed. There are so many Kendrick verses that quite literally just say, if you really want to go there, we can go there. They both said that they're willing to die for it.
They should both do it, man. At this point, it's the bonus round in their careers, right? They're both.
I think that
Yeah,
was the only issue.
that's it.
J. Cole never said he was willing to die for it.
Yeah, and
And I think
it's kind of
as great as it is, as great as the decision, yes, you can't be that competitive to the full extent.
Can
But-
Drake afford another loss though?
Yeah, I think so.
He can.
He probably has the least amount to lose. Actually, I don't know.
Because that's what I'm like. In terms of their bread, you got to be careful when you start entering into.
Forget the bread, bruv. It's pride.
Nah,
Nah,
there's no money
both
involved.
Jake,
No. What I'm
Kendrick
saying is,
and Drake
if
have
the-
too much money. Now it's just pride. You also said you get to a point where I think it was you. You said you
Yeah.
get to a point where there's so much money you get bored. What do you do now?
I hear
This is pride.
If it was mid-teens, 2015, 2016, bread's involved, 100%,
big,
100,000%. Now they're breaded off. J. Cole's bought his masters back,
Yeah.
and he now has a new licensing deal. So they must have gave that man a boatload of cash, and now he's gonna get all his royalties for all of his catalog now. Happy days. Kendrick Lamar is now no longer with TDE, so he would have signed something new with PG Lang under whoever they're gonna put their money under. And he made bare bank from the Big Stepper tour. Money good. Drake, we don't even need to get into how much money Drake has.
but not what
Money wise, they're fine, but I think it's gonna be about the respect in the game really at this point, because it's a bonus round. We really should have got this during Nothing Was the Same, during the BET cypher, during that time. That's when it really should have happened. Now it's like you man are all in your 30s, you man all have kids now. It's not as exciting, but it's almost like
And
there's less stakes.
we are forgetting
in
the
my
interview
opinion,
that I think Drake had or something. I don't know if I think it was an interview. Drake said a lot of things
and it never came out.
and it never came out.
Was it Drake or Kendrick?
No, it was Drake.
And it never came out.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
There was an interview during the Nothing Was the Same era where there was one that did come out where he was like, oh, like, I don't really have a problem with that man. But then there was another one, apparently, allegedly, where he was calling Kendrick out and saying all sorts of stuff, but it never came out.
Yeah, then the label just said stop it.
But when I said the bread thing, it's more. You know how when someone loses a beef or they do something embarrassing, that people can stop fucking with their music. Like you can impact it that way. That's the point I was trying to make.
I think even
And
to a
that's-
certain extent, you're right, because if you look at Pusha T, I think with the situation with Pusha T can go out and he's had tracks on tracks with several people, and he can go out and have relationships with other people, especially with the Young Thug situation. He had a song with Pot Smoke, Young Thug, and he said, I don't need any permission to do anything at any given point. I'm gonna take my song away. I'm gonna take my verse away so that you guys can thrive. But don't try and tell me what I can or cannot do.
Yeah.
And that was to Young Thug.
Yeah.
Now the feds did the sweep. So you're right in the sense that money has been involved, because he's almost put, like, because of the friendship and the loyalty to Drake, he's almost put that.
I mean, they're crashing it on him at the moment. On Drake. Even the Weeknd's getting involved.
Yeah, they're calling him Aubrey sexuals. They're calling the fans Aubrey sexuals.
Listen, man.
Aubrey sexuals is crazy.
Do you guys not find it a bit weird that everyone's teaming up to dunk on Drake?
He must have done something behind the scenes because they're crashing it.
It's a bit weird. I don't know. I'm enjoying it. I'm not saying I'm not enjoying it. It's actually quite funny to watch.
Shout out to Drake.
But a part of me is a bit like, this is a bit weird,
Kendrick.
though.
Yeah, 100%.
It's a bit weird.
Like, I don't know what he could have done behind the scenes, but Future, Metro Boomin linked up to do this. Whole album's called We Don't Trust You.
It's a bit much.
Usually
it's for this and we keep it moving, but this is the whole thing. I mean, like that slaps. I can't lie to you. The song is mental.
That song is incredible.
And then even the second album as well, We Still Don't Trust You.
That shit was arse. Oh my god.
Why?
I thought it was so bad. I can't. Do you know what? I just can't with albums anymore. If I come across a single I like, cool, I'll push that. But I just don't think I have the patience for albums.
So it's not arse. It's not trash.
No, the album was bad to me anyway.
To you.
But it was just. It's also just too much music. What do you need to? You don't need an 88-minute album. There's nothing to say.
Future doesn't need an 88-minute.
No way. No one does. I really don't think anyone does. Keep your message concise.
Who would I take an 88-minute album from?
There is no one. Your album doesn't need to be the same length of time as a Hangover.
I don't know. Future definitely not. I 100% agree with you there, but I don't know. I don't really. I've never cared. More often than not, I don't care. The albums are long. It just depends who makes it.
You
And
don't
what.
care for album. As soon as
It depends who makes it and depends what it's.
I think an album should be 40 minutes, man.
Yeah.
10 to 14 tracks.
I don't know about that, man. I don't think album length only becomes an issue if the music isn't good. If someone gave you an album worth of
I
good
think
music
so, because
for hour and 30, you're not going to
just
turn
gone
it on
for
for
quality. That just screams you've gone for quantity over quality. I just don't think it's possible to make an hour and a half good
there
album.
was some good tracks on here though. I mean, Gracious.
There's some decent
Beat It,
tracks on there.
Jealous. Love Bad Bitches.
I'm not saying there weren't good tracks. I'm just saying it just weren't for me. I think. To be fair, I'm at a point with Future. There's nothing. The subject topic isn't changing. There's nothing new. He's immortalized, so I'm fine. He's one of my favorites to ever do it. I just might be out of cross the road.
You can't be buddy with the guy, then go to the upside and then make a track.
I can't believe there's a J. Cole feature on there.
That
is nasty work.
The song is actually pretty good and it's actually okay, but he's even saying on the track, he's still trying to compete on the track, and he's trying to say, "Listen, I'm not on no beef thing, redhead." You're still trying to compete on the track, because if you listen to every other part except for that part, it's like, bro.
It's fucking embarrassing from him. That was poor. What was it? Poor foresight as well. I would have asked my verse to be taken off. I mean, it just doesn't make sense.
No, this is recent.
I'm saying there's a J. Cole feature on
This J. Cole feature is recent. Like, just maybe after the apology or just before the apology, says, yeah, listen, I think
it's before all of this.
No, because he's even saying I'm not on the beef stuff.
No, but no. During this song was done a while ago. During the might delete later vlog things he was doing, there's a video where he's talking about him locking in with Metro, and that video dropped definitely before
like that.
Yeah.
Before all that stuff. And I'm not trying to vouch for man, but I'm just providing context. But that doesn't mean he can't pick up the phone and be like,
I would take that.
With everything happening,
yeah, probably not for the best right now.
Take it off. But yeah, I mean, yeah, J. Cole. Very, very.
What an embarrassment.
Very disappointing. I think he'll be fine, but it's a shame that we got to this point. If it didn't get to this point, I wouldn't care, if that makes sense. Like, if he dropped this project, if he didn't respond to Kendrick at all, kept doing his thing, puts out the fall off, I wouldn't bat an eye. It's the fact that you leaned in and you leaned back out. It just makes it look. It just makes you
It's
look
embarrassing,
silly.
man. That's the only word for it. I can't describe it any other way.
I would say J. Cole is very similar to my older brother in terms of like lifestyle. Very, very zen, very chill. However, if my brother, you give him a basketball, like he's Michael Jordan. Like he don't care about you, don't care about how you're breathing. Like he will demolish you, and he doesn't care. Like he will go and compete in the highest level. And I would say that J. Cole is the same when it comes to picking up a mic and spraying bars. He's competitive, but when he's off, he's just a zen type of person. He's a zen type of guy. As we can conclude, in the spirit of just hip hop, in the essence of the culture, in its competitiveness, off the court behavior doesn't count.
Yeah. Well, I respect it as well. Like I do. There is a part of me that respects the fact that he's obviously been on a personal journey, as we all have seen as fans and people that listen to his music. So I respect that. If this was fucking with his psyche and he was just like, look, I've got myself to a place where I can't have this sort of energy around me, cool. Like I do respect that. I just don't think he needs to go up on stage and tell people that.
Yeah, agreed.
What a crazy apology as well. I'll take it on the chin is insane. For real.
Who's your money on between Drake and Kendrick though?
I want Drake to win. I really do.
Just for the
shits and gigs. Oh yeah, please explain what he said in the chat. When he said the
Yeah.
only way he could win is by
losing.
Taking second. Oh yeah.
You literally said the only way Drake can win is by losing. So I didn't get it.
Yeah, that's the only way you can win.
How?
Because there's a phrase that I'd used on the group chat plenty of times. It's like getting whacked off, but then not finishing the job. in every, and I'm not like the worst way. Pause, like heavy pause.
But I'm not
Like quite literally, I give you all this energy, then I turn around and say, I don't want it. Like I just don't want to do it. Now I leave Kendrick there. What's the best words? Puzzled,
So what,
dumbfounded. Like he doesn't know what to do now.
Are you
his
saying-
whole creative energy and competitiveness now has to dissipate. You can't give him nothing because I've given you this energy to then turn around and say, I'm gonna just say no, I don't want it no more. I just want to be boys with you.
Oh, I see. But
So that's if Drake does that, then quite literally he just disarms Kendrick completely. Yes, he may rob the fans, but more so he will destroy Kendrick. He will just self-destruct because he can't do anything.
Wait. So you're saying he should? Are you saying he should do this on a track or just do an interview and say he's better than me? I want to be friends now.
Like, let's say two countries are about to go to war and they're on the line, and then I just shake your hand, and then just like I shake the op's hands, and then just.
But
say,
how do
like
you?
we just cause a peace treaty right there and we're done. Like, and I'm saying I'm no longer going to diss you. I'm no longer going to do anything. Just going to keep it calm. At that point, you're so on the edge mentally. You're ready to go to war, and right now, a guy says, "Nah."
Wouldn't Kendrick just go and diss him again anyway?
Yeah.
So, but he's gonna keep dissing him, and guess what? Kendrick's never gonna respond. Sorry, Drake's never gonna respond.
I guess so.
So that's the only way he can actually destroy him. However, let the games begin.
I think Drake is nice enough to.
Drake is not nice. Drake is petty.
No, as in on the mic, like he's nice enough to get the job done. I think I can.
I do believe so.
I
really
can see a
do
world where
believe
he
so.
wins, and I think.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But my thing for him would be you have to put the onus on Kendrick, as in, hey, you're supposed to be similar to your point. Actually, you're supposed to be better than me. Let's see it. I'm giving you this arena. I'm giving you this space. Let's see if you're actually.
I don't think Drake will do that.
No, but that's the tactic I would, or the approach I would
Seems
take.
like that's what he's doing. Did you see his Instagram post yesterday?
What's he done now?
This fucking guy, bro.
I just saw he did a steak bet. That's all I ever see with him.
Of course. Nah, he posted this. Hang on.
He is a gambling addict.
He posted this meme. It's always a fucking meme with this guy. Never give up. You may be closer than you think. And it's that one way it walks away, but it says a response in the diamonds.
We'll see.
A reaction even. So he's basically just waiting for Kendrick to put his diss out, basically.
So what, you think he's waiting for Kendrick to go again?
Yeah, I think so. Seems that
Why?
way, right?
No, but the thing is he should be the one to respond.
You think so? But clearly, it's chess, like you said. Man's waiting for him to make the next move. So gotta wait and see.
So Insta pics, 20 fingers. Basically, that's what he's
Insta
doing.
fingers.
Insta fingers
He
is
really is
crazy.
Insta fingers.
Nah, man.
We'll see how he
Shouts
approach
to
it.
all the Aubrey sexuals.
Listen, man.
That's a crazy name.
It's all mad in the dunya.
Champagne Papi.
Where do they go from here?
Yeah, we'll see.
In terms of
man.
the pod or just them?
No, in terms of those three.
I mean, I don't see a Kendrick project coming for a while. He typically takes a while to put stuff out. Drake puts out things every 5 minutes, but he claims he's taking a break. And then J. Cole with the fall off, I guess. But at this point, he needs to rebuck his ideas up and figure out what
We
he
might
wants
just
to
not
do.
hear anything.
Yeah, I don't know. I actually think even with the fall off, I don't know if it was what everyone thought it'd be, because I feel like artists have this annoying thing of building anticipation for albums, and then it just turned out to be something completely different to what we expect. Like I remember when Views was coming, and when it's going to be incredible. Like he's just put out What a Time to Be Alive. He's just put out, if you're reading this, he's going to give us the most incredible Drake project ever. Obviously, in hindsight, it's not actually that bad.
Yeah.
But I didn't expect it to be like that. Like I thought he was going to be getting his ish off. I'm just conscious that maybe the fall off might not be bars. It might be
More commercial.
no. I think actually might be more like personal.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Like a bit more of the vein of like For Your Eyes Only, maybe to an extent.
Oh, I
of
could
like,
never. I can't.
no,
Yeah,
because you
I'm
know
not
what,
saying
quality wise, but same like thematically, if that makes sense.
Yeah, let me give everybody what they want in terms of the bars and whatever.
And then get that out of the way, and then let's get personal. That's why it's given us the off season. That's why it's given us Might Delete Later. So I don't know if he'll do that again. I just don't see it happening. So I mean, hey, who knows at this point? Lord knows what the fall off is gonna be. He's already flipping seppuku'd himself, bro.
Yeah, for real. I did.
So Lord knows. We'll see.
We will. Music.
I can't even pick anything off that bloody project now, man.
Well,
I will, but it's just annoying to me.
Dun-dun-dun, 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 dun-dun-dun.
Hey, what the hell is Metro on? Like, he was beefing the track itself.
Yeah, for
I'm
real.
gonna put on Gracious by Future Metro.
I'm gonna go Little Things by Georgia Smith. It's the little things.
I think that song's on there.
Is it already?
Yeah.
Oh well. In that case, I guess it's "Fuck Me" by Drake.
I'm gonna pick HYB by J. Cole, Bars and Central C.
Great track.
Great track. Alright, nice
Yeah,
one,
well
lads.
done.
Cool.
Run that cinch.
Until next time.
Until next.
Where do we want to start? You're gonna have to fix your camera because I can't see your face.
Oh, word.
Mothers.
That's
Yeah.
better.
Yeah. That's great.
Yeah. What was he saying? Where do you want to start?
Well, I mean, today's just been a bit of a wishy-washy situation. Me and my mum were watching something about a preacher who was condemning a church because there was a male stripper that started off the session. And I'm not lying.
I don't think you are.
And what's wild is the fact that he's like a performance act. But the way the preacher described it, he said it was a male stripper, like swallowing swords.
Wow.
like when
That's
they actually take a sword and then they swallow the sword.
oh, okay, okay. I
But
thought that
even
was a
me saying
reference to
that
something
statement,
else. Yeah, it's
nah,
crazy. It's
because
crazy.
quite literally, it's just like, why are you swallowing sword in the pulpit? Like, it don't make sense. But
Who's doing that at church?
yeah, it started off the procession. Like, it was like a conference, and he started off, and like the guy took off his top, like and then he started dancing on the pole, and then he ended up swallowing swords. And the guy just came out, and the preacher said, "Yo, this is a Jezebel spirit. I don't like it." Then he got kicked out, and then the
This
whole
shit's
crowd booed him.
insane. They booed him for kicking the sword person out.
Yeah, no, they booed him. They booed. No, so basically, once they kicked the preacher out that was condemning the church, the host came up and just basically was trying to calm the situation down. They booed the host. They just booed the host because the guy was making sense. Like, why are you going to be doing?
Yeah,
Why are you
it's
going to be
true.
putting swords on pulpit?
That's crazy. That is crazy. That thanks for sharing that. It was not what we joined together
It's not
for,
what we're doing, but right now,
but
this is
I
where
enjoyed
my
it.
mind is at. Yeah.
I enjoyed that. Thank you for man swallowing swords at church. That's crazy. I'm leaving the congregation.
Yeah,
There's
yeah,
nothing
yeah.
to
It's,
stick
it's a
around for.
hard one. It's a sticky
For
one. It's a
real.
sticky.
For
Yeah.
real. But push-ups. How do you feel about them as an exercise? I think they're great.
Push-ups are underrated.
Very much so.
They're
Very much
very
so.
underrated. If you try to like do some push-ups now, like your body will just not agree. 'Cause it's unless you do it regularly.
Mm,
Because
that's
I mean, you do push-ups on a regular, innit? Like, so, like, if you
yeah,
were
it's
to
part of
just to
my
do push-ups
routine.
right now,
I mean, it'd be light
how
work for
many?
me, but I don't want to say it'd be light work for me because now it sounds like I'm doing it for top dog, which I'm not. I do push-ups because I want to do push-ups. You know how I mean?
uh,
But
uh, 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 uh.
what was he
For the
saying?
people who don't know, we recorded episode 238 talking about is Drake gonna respond? Is Drake gonna respond? And he has responded. Um,
He has
Yeah.
incredible stuff, incredible performance.
yeah, yeah. So,
Listen, man,
so fire
and he
away,
wasn't even
man. Tell
subliminal.
me.
He weren't subliminal. He just came straight with it. He even says dot at some point. So he's really putting names on here. He's saying Abel. You know, it's obvious who this man's going at. They were trying to jump him. He said, "Nah, forget all that. I've got the smoke."
A 20 versus 1.
He acknowledged that. That's crazy because it
I
is
mean, it's
insane
kind
that
of
they're all
trigger,
jumping
right?
like this.
Yeah, it's kind of rare in hip hop, unless like you take the 50 situation, but at least with 50, he was actively trying to beef everybody. He wanted it. Whereas
Mm,
Drake probably
yeah.
wants to beef half these people from what you can kind of, I mean, maybe he wants to beef them more in his subtle way, who knows? But yeah, it's a very interesting response. Should we start with the Kendrick this is to decipher? Because
Mm,
obviously he got the lion's share of the disses. Because there's a lot of people
mm,
who on the receiving end, but the Kendrick ones, the most interesting thing I took from it was the contract situation with Top Dog.
mm,
Um, what are your thoughts on it, guys? Because I think it's very interesting, and to be honest with you, it wouldn't surprise me if it's true because um, when you think about his deal and how many albums he's put out over the span of the years, and where his career has started and where it is now, you'd assume that his first deal has only just expired. And more often than
mm.
not, when artists get their first deal, it's never the best deal.
Yeah,
It's usually a low board. It's usually, oh, okay, we see this artist, he's mad talented. He's obviously got the capability of being a superstar, but we're not going to give him superstar money at the beginning because it's not worth it. He might be one day,
mm,
but right now we're going to maximize that. And I think that's probably what Top done for them. Obviously, for the rest of the crew, they probably didn't have as favorable a splits compared to Kendrick, because obviously he sold way more. But it wouldn't surprise me if I don't think it'd be 50% to the Top, but it wouldn't surprise me if Top being the top A&R in that situation would get like an override on whatever Kendrick
Is that
sells.
for the rest of his career, or
No,
for
no,
that
no. It
first
wouldn't be
deal?
for the rest of his career. It would literally, if I, this is just me speculating, but from what I can tell, this would probably be everything up until, oh no, sorry, you're right. Everything he's put out up until this album, Top will
Mm.
get a percentage of that. But anything moving forward, obviously, Top's not going to get a part of it because he's PG Lang now. If that makes
Mm.
sense.
I mean, this is obviously speculation, but I can agree to it to a certain extent because Kendrick Lamar was never supposed to be the he was never supposed to be the top pick of TDE. He was never supposed. It
Really?
was actually J Rock. Yeah, J Rock was the front runner for TDE. It's just that Kendrick did what he did and was amazing, and
Mm.
they gained more traction. They put more finance into him, and of course, he was a very favorable. He was a favorable investment, but I don't know how splits work personally myself. I'm assuming it's not 50%,
Yeah,
but
that's a lot.
I
That's
mean,
unheard of. That's almost as bad as Drake's Cash Money, Young Money deal.
How bad was that? What was that?
yeah.
Well, the Young Money, Cash Money one, from what I understand, um, is basically so Drake, Nicki, Tyler, basically anybody who signed on the Young Money was involved in a Cash Money deal, and a Cash Money deal is basically UMG gave Cash Money a massive amount of money and towards like the early to late 90s, early 2000s, because obviously they made loads of money through the Hot Boys, through
Mhm.
everything. So they gave them money for their own label, money to kind of give art, kind of create their own like mini empire. But I think there was a crazy override in the deal where Birdman gets X amount on everybody's stuff. Um, so when Wayne obviously blew up, uh, Birdman basically got the majority of the money. And I think in Wayne's contract, if Wayne wanted to make, it's basically like like a pyramid scheme, basically
Oh
of
no.
money filtering upwards. So
Mm.
Drake, Nicki, and Tiger made obviously good amount of money. I don't think their situation was as bad as Wayne's, but it's still under the same umbrella. So until their
Mm.
first contracts were done, where they could now sign under UMG directly, the money wasn't as obviously nowhere near as much as they should have got. So now
Yeah.
obviously Drake's bagged up. You can tell like the money he got from UMG in retrospect to the Cash Money situation. He's smiling because UMG are never going to let him go, and they paid him certain amounts of money that he would have made if he had made that money properly, as opposed to being through Cash Money. Similar for Nicki,
Got
similar
you.
to Tiger, but obviously to a way lesser extent. So basically,
Mm.
the long story short is, and it's mad interesting. It's something I actually learned when I started to work where I am now. Is that the first deal always favors the label always. So the top
Mm.
thing that I'm hearing about, it doesn't surprise me, but I just don't. I'll be very, very, very shocked if it is legitimately 50%. That is absolutely bonkers.
Well.
To summarize the Drake situation, you sign to one nigga, they sign to another nigga, they sign to three niggas. Now
Mm.
that's just bad luck.
For real.
That's what I can say about that. But when it comes to like Collins explained it beautifully, it's wild. But as I said, Kendrick was never the front runner for TDE. It was always J Rock, and it just so happened that Kendrick just went and blasted its way through. Pause.
So what about the other deal that the
Oh,
other deal
Sorry.
that
there's
they got into?
listen, that Metro this was perfect. As you said, I audibly gasped
That was the best
or
diss,
laughed.
I think. That made me audibly laugh.
The fact that the beat that almost switches out and then just for him to say that is brilliant.
Quick
Actually,
side. Actually, go on, Eman,
what
go.
what track did you like? Did you like the first one or did you like the second one by Who Kids?
I don't know. The first one you put in the chat I quite liked, but I think they were both fine. It was, yeah, for me, I enjoyed both of them. No, I don't think a lot changed between the two.
Like the essence of the song was still there.
Yeah, yeah.
I kind of agree. There's more energy on the second one, maybe because the beat switch,
Yeah.
the beat drop outs for like the certain bars and like the tempo change slightly. I think both are serviceable. What about you, man? Do you have a
I I I really enjoyed the Biggie sample,
yeah, of
Get
course.
Money.
Yeah.
So it really just gave me demoitis because I was there and I was just chatting to Deej, just like on a mad one, on a mad one, on a mad one in the group chat. And then all of a sudden I see a post. I go straight onto YouTube. I go select the filter for like within an hour. I see the track, I put it in the chat, and it's just going off wild. And it's crazy, man. It's
That was crazy.
crazy.
That was a good find. That was a good find.
Yeah, man. It's crazy, bro.
Did you feel like something was gonna drop? Because to come across that, when you put that in the chat, it had like 15K views. So it wasn't like it was popular.
I felt like Drake would drop it the day after a Joe Biden podcast, and it's on a Saturday, it's on a weekend, so it's away from any like stuff. But the thing is, he never dropped it; he leaked it. That's my issue. Why would you leak your own diss track? And the thing is, that camp is extremely tight. So anything that's leaked is always leaked by Drake. Like
Yeah,
there
they've done
isn't.
it on purpose.
They've done it on purpose. So then the fact that they've done both, it's like, why would you leak your own? Just put it
They're
up.
probably trying to see like get the temperature for what people are thinking, and then you just put out the best one.
This
That's
is a
my
war,
thought
bro.
process.
You can't you
That's what
can't
I'm.
test blanks.
No, I hear it.
That
I
wasn't
hear
a
it.
blank
But
though. That was not a blank.
he
Like,
was
that
trying to
was,
enter the clip. I can't lie.
and you could tell he could tell he's giving it to people. Like Moore's listening to it, Rory's listening to it.
Mm,
The fact that Rory said drop and give him 50 like a week before it
Yeah.
even came out, that
yeah.
tells what you need to know. Joe teasing that it's gonna come out on a certain day. Joe's obviously heard it. It's one of those
Mm.
things where he's
I
had
think
this
if
for
you
a
were in the
while.
industry, it was floating around.
Yeah, 100%. What I'm very intrigued though is that he's not put this out on streaming, and I think this is on purpose.
It would have been an easy number one. But yeah, it's definitely on
No,
purpose.
no, but he probably would have put on SoundCloud.
That would have been my
Like he
thought.
did
But
for Duppy Freestyle,
back
like
to
he did
back
for
initially
Charged
went.
Up, back to back. Yeah.
I think he doesn't want to put it on there. Or I think he might have been, and this is just me with my conspiracy theory out on. I think he may have been told not to put it out. I think both.
By who?
I think maybe this is just. I could be wrong here, but I think maybe both of them have been told we're not going to not endorse this, but we're not gonna push this for you guys because they're both under UMG.
Oh, is it?
I can imagine a world. I could imagine a world where Lucian or whoever is like, you man can do your thing, but we're not gonna finance this.
It's an odd decision because I hate to say it, but beef makes money.
It does,
This
but
is the
it can be, and we've seen before, it can be bad business. It can be. It won't be. I don't think it would be
yeah.
because neither of them really have that. Maybe Drake to a little bit of an extent, and Kendrick because of just the nature of where he's from. But I just don't think I think there's obviously it's no one at the same situation, but there's a lesson to be learned from the Tupac and Biggie thing because they were brethren, and Tupac's whole thing was like, or I don't know, those interviews in retrospect where it's like it kind of got coerced out of like people wanting it as opposed to them wanting it themselves. So I could
Got
imagine
you.
a world where there's a phone call to both of them, like, look, both of you man, you can do it, but it's outside of our pipeline. Pause. But we'll
Yeah,
see.
but he does.
If
He
Kendrick,
tends to not
we'll
drop.
see. If we'll see where Kendrick sits. If Kendrick is on streaming and everything, then my theory is obviously debunked. But it was very interesting to me that this is just like CDQs and leaks all over Twitter and YouTube. So
But
I think
then again, I would even say to that point, it's not even Tupac and Biggie's is eons ago, isn't it? Like if we look as far as what's happening with the closest thing I can think of is Dolph. That was more young Dolph. That was more so street affiliated than anything else to a certain degree. and that was you wouldn't really call it international. You only call it national.
Mm.
But then even um, there's Don Q and I forgot my man's name. I mean, there's certain rappers in New York, bro. There's people right now who are dying from rap beef. So it's not a case where it's just. So if you're the two biggest stars, you're talking about beef, blickies and flickies, then
It ain't gonna
you
happen with
know.
them. I mean, look how many bodyguards he rolls with.
I
They're
know it's
fine.
not that. It's more. I'm more talking from the business perspective. It's more like
Mm.
we're gonna protect our investments. We're not gonna tarnish or be seen to be involved in it, whether things go down or not. I could just
Yeah.
imagine a world where Lucian's like, listen, we gave you 500 million, relax, bruh. And Kendrick, you're our golden child, chill out. I could genuinely see that being a case. But if you guys want to go at it, then so be it.
Yeah. I mean, he's never dropped diss tracks on what's it on streaming services anyway, so it's not out of character. I guess the leaking is a bit weird, but
But back to
this
back's
is
on thing, my Bob, innit? Back to back's on
it
Spotify.
is it was after a while, but it didn't go straight onto streaming services.
Yeah, maybe
So
I'm
I
wrong.
think it might have something to do with the algorithms.
Yeah,
These
I'm
sort of
probably
things is
wrong.
for us, isn't it?
It's just interesting.
Little
It's very
Sarah
interesting.
from Blackpool, she ain't trying to hear all this.
No.
She don't. So it could mess with his algorithms. There's a reason they do it, but I'm very pleased that he did respond because I didn't think he would. I didn't think he would. I didn't think he needed to, but for the love of the game, I respect it. He's gone up again in my estimation personally because every time he's been called into battle, he has stepped up.
Yeah, man. I think we've got to give credit where credit is due. I think me and Eman had an inkling that he would, but it was more just
Mm,
because, like, don't know, like the way he handled the pusher thing. Okay, he lost, but at least he showed out. And I think in this case,
mm.
he obviously respects Kendrick, but I think he was just kind of waiting for something more direct, and like that as I like that, and obviously Future's project is direct as it gets. So I think
Yeah, it
kind of
was.
had to respond, to be honest, to be completely honest
Yeah,
with you. So,
I hear you.
and it was good, man.
Um,
He was rapping well on there. He managed to get out like 4 or 5 people. Like he sounds confident, and
mm.
like even like the Rick Ross this as well, the Future this, the Weekend this, Travis this. There's just so many disses on there. Like it's
What there was a Travis diss?
there's a Travis diss, bruh. He was saying oh, that thing I Rolling Loud was kind of cute.
Yeah,
Oh, I
yeah.
If
see.
your baby mama kiss and tell, then something. I don't know,
Got
but
you, got
it
you.
was a Kylie Jenner thing.
I
Um,
see, I see.
what else was on
I
there? There's a lot. I have to
didn't
run
even
it back
peep
a
the
few
Travis stuff.
times.
Man even had to give him credit and diss him on the same song. That's crazy.
I don't
That's what
understand why Rick Ross is calling him white boy though. That's wild.
I don't pay attention to that Rick Ross
they're not
one.
giving me the scholarship because I'm light skinned.
Man
What?
was barking at the. He's chatting to himself.
Yeah, the Rick
It
Ross
was a good
thing.
diss though.
This was cool, but I feel like it's distracting from the main thing. We don't really want to hear it.
Yeah, no, exactly. It's
Let's be
that Big
honest.
Sean releasing time.
But
Let's
the fact
be
that Rick Ross may have potentially written not written, but he had potentially had participation or wrote the sicko mode verse is quite fascinating to be fair. It's like wow.
I can't see it, but normally when someone has something written for them, you can't see it because they've now leaked that. I
Yeah,
mean,
but it's like
they've
Pusha
leaked.
T with most of
Jumbo.
Kanye's
Mm,
discography so far. I mean, that's why he was trying to beg him to come back.
The Jumbotron popping one though, I don't know if maybe it's just me, but when the first time I heard it, I instantly knew it wasn't Drake that wrote that song.
oh yeah, 100%.
I don't know.
But
I don't get why is everybody's. I mean, it fits a narrative, right? I get it, but I think people are being obtuse here. Like the first time I heard that song, I thought it could have been a Fug song to me. Could have been a. I'm pretty sure I said it on the song on the pod. Sorry, I said
mm,
this is a good song, but it sounds like Fug wrote it, the fact that it's Yachty that wrote it. I am not like, why is everybody up in the uproar about it, bro? Like, it's the most non-Drake song you've ever ever,
What's the
ever,
feeling
ever.
about it online? Because what, they're just gonna go back to the he doesn't write his stuff
Yeah, yeah, which
arguing.
I get, but it's almost like, and I think it's an interesting thing about this beef. Like, I think once it's all said and done, I think everybody's already picked their sides because at the end of the day, if you don't like Drake now, I don't think that this is going to change anybody's mind. Or if you don't like Kendrick now,
Mm,
I don't think it's going to change anybody's mind. Luckily, more the majority of people kind of, I say majority, there's a portion of people who are kind of partial to each, so they're willing to hear what's going to happen and will make a good judgment call on it. But there's just
mm.
a lot of tribalism online that makes it a bit like you're not actually looking at this for what it is. You're just dick riding. Let's be
Yeah, yeah, for real.
load of Drake dick riders, load of Kendrick dick riders. It's just a bit like let's be
Arbery
people.
sexuals. Arbery sexuals.
Come on, white boy.
That BBL argument is hilarious.
BBL Drizzy. Tell your moms she looks sweet. He's doing too
He's a
much.
bully, man.
Have you
Listen,
guys
he's
heard
about.
the Kendrick response? The supposed Kendrick response.
So it's confirmed that that's AI.
Oh,
Daylight tweeted earlier saying that's cap. It's AI.
how would
And it
Daylight know?
doesn't sound, huh?
Because
How would
Daylight is
Daylight know?
close. He's close.
Daylight's
Is
basically
he TD?
yeah, he's
Oh,
basically
okay, fair
TV.
enough.
Kind of, but yeah.
It even when what's so funny about it? I'm glad it's AI because that didn't slap for me.
At all.
Oh, you know what? No, it was whoever wrote it did a great effort. I'm not gonna lie to you. They did a great effort. But it
It
weren't
didn't.
slapping.
Mm,
It
Can't
I'm
weren't
lie.
done
it
with
for
this
me,
AI stuff,
bro.
man.
I thought the Drake thing was fake when I first heard it. I was
I was
convinced it
saying,
was AI.
No, it
when you
wasn't
put in the
fake
chat
because
initially,
it wasn't fake. Do you know why it wasn't fake? He started sighing in the very beginning. I was like, you can't AI that. You can't. You can't AI that, can you?
I was I was convinced it was AI because when I first heard it, it was on Twitter, yeah, and there wasn't many retweets. And when I was listening to it, I was just like, obviously in retrospect now, he did a good job. But the first time hearing it, it just felt like he was just saying like you said, Demi, a bar wasn't wasted. So I just felt like
mm,
Drake doesn't usually rap like this. Drake usually is kind of like in and out of the song. He'll give you part of the song, but then he'll
yeah,
give you a bar. But literally every single bar was a send. So I was like, nah, this has
mm,
to be AI because Drake doesn't rap
for
like.
real.
But now
That was initially my fault. I
it's
was
been
so
confirmed.
certain of it.
That's
I'm glad it wasn't.
Dropping, give me 50. Oh,
You got niggas got me talking like I'm 50. I said,
For
yeah,
real.
man. He's in his bag. He's in his bag.
What a time to be alive, indeed.
Who else did he
yeah.
get onto on there? He got onto bare people, man.
Big up Sidham, he's also
The
from
very
his camp.
first
I
bar,
like
to be
that.
fair, the very first bar, I
That's
could
a
never be
future,
your number
right?
one fan.
That's a
Yeah, to
future for them
future.
straight away. Yeah.
Your first number one, I had to put it in your hand.
Put it in
That's
your hand.
nah, come on.
That's a J. Cole
Yeah,
song. Who else
he
did he
got him
send
out
on
there
that?
for that.
He sent for a few people on that one, didn't he? That one applies to a few people. Travis,
Mm.
J. Cole. If you want to be
Do you
petty, it
think he could be
applies to a lot
dissing
of people.
Cole?
Sorry?
Do you think he could be dissing Cole?
The shoe fits on that one, but I don't think it's this.
Yeah,
But I think from his
it's
perspective, the shoe fits, and it's just whoever.
Mm.
but it's not really a diss though, because I mean, it says, yeah, that. Wait, let me get out the bar. So we're quoting it. Um, I don't care what Cole think. That dot shit was weak as
It was
fuck.
weak as fuck. Nah, I might actually get in the booth over that. That's crazy. How can you not care what I think at a time like this?
Yeah,
I told you that track was hot ass, hot bum. It was, bro, it did nothing, and then he
Listen,
bowed out afterwards. Nah, man, come on,
it's
man.
gone. It's gone. It's gone.
That's
There
why.
you go.
That's why I think Drake may have teased this or leaked it bit by bit to whoever, and then it had a massive leak, and then now he just released that. But because I think he was just trying to test the waters. But I don't like it. If you're gonna say it with your chest. Say it with your chest.
It's out there now. We've all got the CDQ.
It's war.
And then
Iran is fighting Israel. Kendrick is fighting Drake. It's war right now, B.
and then the
It's
teaser at the end of the
war.
track. Drop. Nah, I said this
Yeah,
guy's crazy.
harmonizing that is criminal. I don't know
Like,
what he
And
was
he
on.
whispered.
That's crazy. But yeah, the next thing looks sounding mad as well. Listen, I think he's done this pretty well. I can't lie. This went better than I thought it would. I knew he'd respond, but I didn't think he'd get into like. I think when it's all said and done, people would be like, "Yeah, he did his thing." I think
I'm
Kendrick now, though. I think there's a mad alley oop here, though. I can't lie.
yeah, 100.
I
I'm
think
nervous though.
Kendrick
I'm
can
nervous for
cook. I'm
Drake.
not gonna lie.
I think he's
If
gonna
Kendrick is who I think he is, there's too
he's
much of a
gonna
layup
cook.
there for him to go mad in the next track.
The cook is gonna be insane.
Shout out to
That's why I was like, I
Deeds.
don't know if this is strategic or not.
It
Have you
feels,
not
it
Shout out
learned
feels
to
from
like it.
Push?
Deeds.
Drake is definitely trying to draw man out for another diss. And you know,
Oh,
and I
yeah.
feel like Kendrick's diss is going to be a mad thing. But what is Drake going to respond with? Because this isn't the last diss from Drake. Sorry.
I think he needs to crash it on his head top. I'd go again.
Yeah. This
Back
is
to
a
back
great
styles.
time to just go back to back. Do that one, then make it personal specifically to Kendrick and just address him and address him only. Because everybody knows that you have been beefing this guy. It's just that Drake has been, excuse my language, he's been thinking with his dick than he has with his brain. That's why he has beef with Rick Ross. That's why he has beef with Future. Do you know what I'm saying? Like
It's
this beef is
over.
over a girl.
Yeah, facts.
With Kendrick, it's
It's legacy.
over bars, legacy.
Mm.
Who's really number one? So,
Eman, you
I'm
look very happy right
fascinated.
now.
Nah, he
Huh?
loves this.
I said, Eman, you look very happy right now.
you know what I'm trying to find? I'm trying to find where Joe Budden was in Parks's yard, yeah, and he says, nah, I can't say it. It's mad wild, man. It's a mad day, yo. But no, basically, I'm really excited because quite literally, bro, this is what we've been waiting for.
No,
This
it's
is
true.
Christmas
It
right
is.
now. Do you get what I'm
It's
saying?
true.
This is what we have actually been waiting for, and we're
Especially
going
after
to
how
see.
bad last year was for the genre. This is needed.
It was 40% down. Then Spotify turned around and said, "Yeah, it's still number one."
Yeah.
All of a sudden,
Best believe.
This is
Nah,
what
it sounds like this is insane, ginormous for the scene.
some good stuff. So much so we had
Agreed.
to record an emergency pod for your ass. It's crazy.
Yeah, no, that's insane.
yeah,
Had to be done.
Yeah, for sure.
No, it's good, and hopefully we get a response soon. I don't know when. When do you think we'll hear something
I
back?
think it's coming soon. Schoolboy Q tweeted yesterday saying this shit is about to be fun. And whenever that guy talks, he doesn't lie. So I feel like science getting cooked.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
That's what
You
I'm
know
saying.
what I
If I'm
mean?
Drake,
You know
I'll
what I
be dropping
mean?
something now. What? It's been 48 hours. Where y'all at? You said it.
Hey, I'm
Once
gassed.
upon a time.
This is what we
Yeah, no,
this is what we needed, J. Cole, man. You bastard. Listen.
And do you know what's really mad? Do you know what's really, really mad? Once we finish this one, it's gonna drop.
Yeah, 100%. We're going to
Yeah,
record
Allah.
another emergency pod.
We'll just be on Zoom all week.
Listen, bro.
I promise you, we'll
Zoomaholics.
make it. What happened? What happened? I promise.
Has to be done. Has to be done. But no, it was an incredible track. I don't want to say it's an incredible track. I'm guessing it, but it was a really good response.
Yeah, 100%. Let's see. Before we go, who's your money on, guys? Has your opinion
K
changed?
Dot. No, I haven't changed. It's K Dot all the way. Look at the background.
I just thought.
Look at the background.
What do you think he's going to come back to him with, though?
Who, Drake?
Yeah, what angle do we
I
go
don't
with
know.
him?
I don't know. So many
we're
verses.
not-
So I never ran out.
I think
So many verses.
Drake
You're making
is
them
an easy
loud.
target, man. He's such an easy target. I think there's so much you can say about that man.
You're making
They're
them
gonna question
nervous.
his-
The music is loud.
The thing is, what I will say is that Drake has the advantage because anything we'll learn about Kendrick will be new information. So it'll be oh, rah. But Kendrick is so good at words that I feel like he can just make a fall out of Drake easier.
Yeah.
Because like it's so you can quickly talk about the cash money, young money thing. Like you're talking about bad deals,
Mm.
your deal was terrible. You're talking about like wives, like you talk about Whitney, like look at your wife. There's so many ways you can just take it. Like I
Yeah.
just feel like it opens a can of worms, you know.
I don't know why he doesn't learn, because why would you say something that could be interpolated to be about his wife? Like, he's gonna grow up now. It's the same thing he did with Let It Ring on You, like Virginia.
Yeah, but I just feel like maybe Drake knows something we don't know, bro. Man saying I'm holding back, so I don't know. I just feel like they don't know something.
Just the dog
This is
with the price.
exciting.
What do you
I
say?
can't lie. I can't call this
Yeah, I
now.
can't lie.
Initially, I
No,
said
but
Kendrick.
like,
Then I said Drake. Now, like, I don't even know
you know
anymore,
what was
bro.
crazy? Like, it was the fact that because Pusha T and Drake, like, I have to go back to this because at that time, when when the album came out with Infrared, I was like, oh, whatever. And then Drake came out with that track. And then I was like, oh man, I don't know how to feel about this because it's like, especially T, that's my guy. Like he's
Mm.
down now. He has to respond. And he didn't respond. He didn't respond.
Mm.
Then shouts to my guy Sean. And then Sean just shows me the picture. I actually seen the picture the previous night of like blackface, but I don't recognize Drake.
That's
And then this is
mad.
this track. And oh, that is.
I can't believe that.
I personally, I don't like the idea of Drake falling, but he's going against people that I really like.
Mm.
So,
I don't know. I would. I think it's the more interesting thing is the Drake win.
yeah. Oh, yeah. Even with Meek Mill, because that one looked shade. That one's just like a joke. And then when he came
Yeah.
back, it was like, wow. And then he came back again with another track. It was just like, oh no, he's goated.
It's done. Yeah,
Mm.
it's done.
Agreed.
I'm gonna go on a ledge and say Drake, but I don't know, man. That short guy, that
I
short
just said
guy.
he's an easy target, but I think for the scene it will be incredible. Like he beat an unstoppable object, which is what Kendrick has been. I don't think anyone would have thought, oh, you could really go against his pen.
That
And Drake is battle tested. He might have lost one, but he's got more experience in it than Kendrick does.
And the main thing I think Drake has, he's got a better gauge of culture.
Mm.
Kendrick has more respect, but Drake is tapped in. I don't know who it is if it's him or someone in his team, but he's locked in. He knows what's happening online. He knows what the conversations that's happening. So I feel like he knows how to play
Even like
it really
simple
well.
things, because the kids are gonna go mad about him saying what he had. He was begging to do a stream with Kai Cenat. Like, that's embarrassing.
yeah, but who is that
Do you know
though?
what I
Who is
mean?
that? I think that's just the
Nah, he's
whole
a big
scene.
deal. He's a big deal.
I think that's the whole scene. Or is that
What do you
specifically
mean?
to Kendrick?
Apparently, Kendrick's team asked Kai Cenat to do a stream, and they said no.
What Kai said that said no.
Mm.
That's crazy.
But then again, like
I don't
I can
believe
understand.
that. There's no way Kai would say no to Kendrick
I
Lamar.
can understand
No,
why
there's no
Kendrick
way.
might turn around and say, "Oh yeah, let's do a stream," because everyone's doing a stream. But
Mm.
There's no way
at this
Kai
I
current
just
would
think
moment in
say
it's
no
time,
to
funny.
Kendrick Lamar.
I don't see that happening. Maybe for Baby Keem, that
Uh,
makes more sense, but not for Kendrick.
I feel like
I don't
Kai,
I'm
see
just
why that
saying
makes
what
sense.
they said.
fair enough. I just feel like Kai's smart enough to know that he would do it. Like I can imagine Kai and Kendrick doing the push-ups together at the same time. Like
I
he's
think
that kind of guy.
I think Kai is
They're both the
Team
same height.
OVO. The same height. Listen, as a short king,
How
I
you
felt that.
how you big step with size 7 men?
Calling him
Maybe I hope
Pipsqueak
you're
is
not size 7.
insane.
And that's a UK 6. That's wild.
Then you might need to fight that man. You can't let him stop.
I'm
Oh
ready to
yeah,
go.
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
ready to go. Let's get it cracking.
yeah.
I'm 5'8", nigga. I'm size 8. Talk to me nice.
I think then, man, listen, I think for him that might be a massive insecurity, and everyone in the scene knows it. Because I feel like he was going on that. He was killing that.
He was doubling down on it. Man said, "What difference to a king is a son?" Nah. Drake
No, no, no,
winning.
no, no,
Drake
no, no.
winning. Drake winning.
I swear that's a double entendre.
Drake went in. I'm so sorry.
Yeah,
That's
because
a double entendre
Kendrick
because it's
refers to
like,
himself as Prince, and
yeah,
Mike was the
what
king of pop.
Yeah, but then as well, it's like Kendrick has referred to him as king, and what's a prince to a king? Like Prince, what's my man's name? Prince from the OG Prince.
What are we saying? The singer,
No, no, no,
Purple
no, no, no,
Rain.
no, not no, 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 no.
We've got 50 seconds left, by the way, man. So you're on a shot clock.
I'm trying to think. Okay, so J Prince. I was thinking about that. Or is it a reach? Is that a reach?
Yeah, it's a reach.
What's a prince to a king though? Like, are
I
you
hear
ever
it.
gonna approach J Prince? Maybe not, never. But I mean, you know what? It could be a reach. It's a reach.
Listen, man. We'll be
It's a
back here
double.
for round
It's
two.
Incredible.
it could be, but
We'll be back here for round two, lads.
Yeah, for sure. Beautiful stuff.
yeah. Wonderful stuff.
All right, lads. In a bit.